Okay, hello, good morning. We are live, day 5 of 108 days of initiation. So I am in the middle of my morning practice. I think I mentioned that one of my things that I will find out during these 108 days is the balance between doing my creative work first or doing my morning practice and exercise and all of that. So this is a brilliant moment for me because now I actually stopped my practice and to go and do this because I feel the creation of fire is just coming through so strong. So to balance my system, I had to release this. So I'm going to invite you a little bit to my personal situation here first before I go into the teachings about the fire. So some of my main goals for these 108 days is to get in excellent shape, to balance my emotional even further, to expand my capacity, to stay grounded in high pressure situations, because that's where I'm going to thrive and that's where I can have most impact and where I can create the life that I want for myself. And this goes very well into the energetics of the fire that is coming. So this is the fire is already here. So the fire horse, the horse year starts in mid-February. So the horse is not fully here yet, but the fire is here. So the fire actually started coming a little bit last year. So that's what creates it's a perfect balance between, so it's been wood years, and now it's fire. So what happens when there's wood and fire? Everything dissolves. So the fire energy is coming on so strong with transformational energy. It's like it's burning, everything falls to the ground. It's fast paced, it's unpredictable, and it's you can't tame it in that sense, and you can. So it's like if you are unrooted and ungrounded, you can tame the fire. So my intention is to be able to walk through the fire untouched, like fireproof. So that is my goal, or that is the work that I'm doing. So that's why I was really clear on why are you here? What is it that you want? Because this is what I teach. Being able to hold the fire and expand in the fire and use the fire to your advantage, and to really find the gold in the fire, and to be able to stand there after the fire and look at everything that burnt down and be able to process that and have the capacity to hold others through that process as well, because we're going to watch people around us go through this initiation that it is into the fire energy and into the horse energy, because it's been so much shedding and it's still shedding. And then it's going to come. So the horse comes with movement, power, acceleration, and passion and freedom. So it's like breaking free from chains. And so it's like we have this incredible opportunity, because everything is going to be chaos. So the horse and the fire together is, everything is going to separate, and that's where it's chaos. And then it's like you fly and you have no grounding. So the grounding has to come from itself, because the material world is going to shift. There's going to be so many dramatic shifts, and things are going to fall apart, and it's going to the energy is going from structural to individual. So it's the individuals that are going to thrive the most, and then creating small communities around these individuals. So what we need in the world is more grounded individuals, and the energy that is coming, that is the ones who are going to benefit from this chaos the most, because whenever there's chaos, there's opportunity. So when everything is coming apart, then you can find opportunity in here, because then everything is open. Then anything becomes possible. Because when it's rigid and tight, it's not possible. So when it's open, it's possible. So that's when we have an opportunity. So the the people who will benefit the most, and who has the kind of pre-built in, oh, how to say it, it's like, yeah, you're the ones who's best qualified for handling these. It's like the most talented ones without knowing it. It's the middle-aged women, which is very funny. And that would be me then, and I guess you. So because we have the ability to connect, and when we do the inner work with the nervous system work, the somatic work, and the belief system work, and we start to connect to the body and move from intuition and understand the truth, the knowing, the expression, the abundance, the power, the creation, and the sovereignty, when we align those, then it's easy for us to, well, easy, it's still going to be challenging, but then we have the tools, the resources, the skills, and all of that to navigate the energy that is coming. And then what we need is more women who are able to hold that, because that comes from the inside. So when we can hold that and stand in our truth and not be swayed by the movement, the momentum, and the fire that is going to come all around us, then we can make a very big impact on the people around us and the community. And if these women also have money, then they can make real impact. And that's where the new change is going to come. So when the energies are kind of shifting, pops up grounded spaces, grounded women, grounded communities with resources, then something new is building from there. So we can have peace and groundedness, because we know that nothing lasts forever, and we know that the planet is going into a very big shift, and that there's a lot of change coming. So it needs to be chaos in the material world before something else is coming. So if we can stay very steady, very strong, very rooted, and very grounded in this moment of change, and choose to live in the world of duality. I will do one on duality shortly, because that is that is how it is on this planet, that we have duality, and we don't make it too good or bad. We just see that it's chaos, and then we try to help individuals navigate that as to best of our ability. And I'm going to impact a number of people. You are going to impact a number of people. Another one is going to impact a number of people. And that is how everything spreads like fire. So the fire and the horse and the change and all of that might seem dramatic, but it's also, so remember, the horse is freedom. So in this situation, if we can kind of root down and realize how powerful we are, and how able we are, and how capable we are. And those are the women that I'm speaking to, the women who know that they have a power inside of themselves, that, okay, maybe you can't access it all the time. Maybe it's not available, like ready available to your, in the way that you wish, but you know somewhere that I am capable of this, and you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't have found me. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Otherwise, you wouldn't have those thoughts or sensations or knowing inside of you. because you have that ability. It's just about learning the skills, and it's all skills. It's nervous system, it's somatics, it's everything that Simba teaching also, like the breath work, the fascia, the energy work, the nervous system, and the tremors. So it's about connecting deeply to our bodies and like turning on the system, because this system knows how to navigate this. You don't have to figure out how to navigate this. The skill is to restore the body into its natural state, aligning the physical, the emotional, the energetic, and the belief systems. Then the body knows. It's like, I don't know why this came up, and maybe most of you don't know what I'm talking about, but Knight Rider, when David Hasselhoff has his car kit, that is like this vehicle of information that is fast and savvy, and it can also, hey kid, how do we do this and this? The body is your kit, because the body knows. So when you go in, and the silence is the gateway. So the silence and the stillness is the gateway, because fire is like, and you go into the silence and the body knows. So Phoenix Rising is that. It is returning to the physical being that is aligned with the emotional and the energetical and spiritual, that knows how to navigate this. So back to my process, I've had a feeling that I don't need to work so hard to get that in shape, because when I align fully, that comes kind of with the territory. So that is why I'm leaning into allowing the teachings to come through when they come through, because the weight that I'm carrying is almost like I'm constipated. It's like I'm carrying, it's like I'm not putting out. So when my creation and when I'm in my purpose and when I share my teachings, everything is going to align, and I'm not going to feel so like stuffed. It feels like it's like this. That's why I use the word constipated. I'm not constipated, but it feels like the body is like carrying something, and it's a lot of water. And water is what carries the information and the memory. So water is actually older than the planet itself. So it's through the water system that we remember the ancient times. And that is why there is no timeline, because the remembrance is in the water, and the water is dehydrated in the fascia. So the fascia is the bridge between that's where the consciousness expansion can occur, because when we access the memory from the water, we remember who we are. This might sound woo-woo, but it's there's so much science on this, and there's so much studies going on this, and it's Simba is much better at explaining those things, but it's the fascia is the connector, and the water is the key. So the water is the key. And water balances the fire. So we always have the balance. Okay. Now I feel this pressure inside of me is gone. So there's this, when these things want to come through, it gets really intense, and it gets really uncomfortable. So I realized that I've been pushing this down for years, and I think that's why I'm growing. I have so much inside of me that wants to come out. So let's ground the energy a little bit. This is mostly for myself. So these teachings are going to be, a lot of things are going to come through. So you don't have to act on everything that I say. So this whole compilation of 108 days is first and foremost for me to birth the teachings in a chronological way. And this is apparently the format. And then the participants who use this to remember, you will take it in your own pace. But what I would suggest is that you actually do one a day and allow. So this is for the ones who really know that they are here to be initiated. So the full initiation is going to be to do one day after another, and no matter what information comes through, you just feel it and like, I don't need to act on this. It's just going to be a transmission, and something is going to shift inside of me. Just hearing the words, just doing this continuously, just showing up every day and just listen to what I have to say. You don't even have to do the practices. So that is probably going to be the main initiation, just to listen to everything, because that's going to create a landscape and a new sense of reality of how, because so much of this work and so much of what is keeping us stuck and not being our full potential is the belief systems and the way that we are subconsciously operating from the information that we have been receiving or not receiving since we were young children. So it's almost like we live a little bit reversed. It's like we don't have access to all the it's like we're living in this vehicle. It's like some of the functionalities is switched off. It's almost like that. So when you start to, and that is shaped within the capacity of the mindset and the belief systems. So when we start to realize, oh, it can be like this, oh, it can be like that, and like putting everything together, you will shift just by receiving that information and start to look at things in a different way. And this is where resistance and resistance will come in, and where there is something that is not flowing properly, there will be resistance. That's when we start to struggle. That's when it starts to be intense, and then that's just a sensation, and the body showing, oh, we can move this out of the way. So everything that we have experienced is stored into our fascia, our tissues, our organs, our physical being, and the water inside. So the fascia is very tense when we get when we are not doing well, and when we start to loosen up the body, everything kind of follows, because the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, and energetical is all interconnected. So when you work on one, the other ones will follow suit. So that's why we want to work on all levels. So again, I'm going to go back up and do my morning routine now, but from a completely different place, because this pressure that was building up inside of me is now released. And the pressure is what is creating the weight and the water retention, and so carrying extra weight is not because you're lazy and you're eating wrong and you're not exercising. I mean, those things affect. So we should be, eating, moving, exercising, and all of that. But that's a result of our emotional status, our belief systems, and what we believe to be true about ourselves and the world. So when we start to move energy in other layers, then the body will follow suit. So This is a little bit of transmission of the fire. And so the fire is the energy that we're moving into. So we still have a bunch of weeks of the snake year. So this is when we are still kind of purging, we are still shedding. And so you have time now, and that's why we're going to go into the heavier bits, the how to transform, how to shed, because we want to move that out of the way before the horse comes. Because when the horse comes, then you're just going to get propelled into the future, and you're going to have to be with whatever you have left. So the less weight, physical, emotional, spiritual, energetical, the less weight you will carry on the horse will determine how comfortable is the horse. Because I don't know if you've been riding a horse, but that's not comfortable. It's not easy. They are huge, and it's hard, and it's, like they go fast, and it's bumpy, like, okay, I gotta learn this. And the more equipped you are when the horse comes, the better the ride is going to be. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm looking at everything that I can clean up and get out of the way before the horse comes. So we're going to talk about detoxing physical, emotionally, and spiritually. We're going to talk about these things like decluttering and all of those things. So otherwise the fire is going to do that for you, and that's going to be very uncomfortable. And if you are on top of that, it's like you are your own fire, then everything is going to shift. So it's about owning the circumstances and being the one in charge. So over these days, we're going to take piece by piece. That's why I was like, why am I doing 108 days? I could have done 10 like I did with Let's Connect, but I'm realizing there's so many aspects that I want to cover, that I want to put into a library once and for all. And then it's almost like, yeah, oh. So there's something that wants to come through me, and these are the things. And that's why it hasn't come through yet, because it's about the fire. It's about this time, and I'm snake in snake year. So I had to go through this whole cycle of the purging, and now I'm at the end, and now I'm ready to share this, because it's supposed to come out in this time, because my teachings are perfectly aligned. This era that is coming is literally called the Phoenix era. And I'm like, wait, what? I've been doing this in my own, for myself, and I'm stepping out, and it's like the world is like, oh, there you are. We've been waiting for you. I'm like, okay, so the fire is about being seen. So if you are in business, if you're in career or some shape or form, if you want to create something for yourself, this is the time. This is the time to really jump on board on the train that is going to take you to magnificent places. But the work is within, because the way that we align within, we will automatically align without. So again, nervous system, somatics, belief systems, connecting to the body, knowing your truth, knowing your expression, knowing who you are, allowing the abundance to receive and to give freely. Personal power, everything, creation, everything, being connected to your life force, allowing the life force to flow through the body as the wellspring. That's why our somatic work is called the wellspring, the container that we have, that we show up for 8 sessions per month to regulate the nervous systems, to work through the somatics. That's like the ongoing work to connect, to return, to shed. That's the shedding, the aligning, the coming back to the self. And that is what creates the wellspring of life force and creation from within. That's why we call it that. Starting today, actually, after a little bit of holiday break. So anyway, The ones I just looked down at my notes. So the ones who are going to succeed in this fire horse year that is coming is the ones who feel safe in chaos, who are grounded in speed, who are comfortable in the void, like in the space, in the unknown, who's living at the edge of creation, who is uh, has an expansive mindset and who is adaptable to change, who can change by is someone who's not rigid in their belief systems, that it's a belief system of um oh, if I learn something new, I change. Oh, okay, I realize this now. I get new information, so okay, then I upgrade. The ones who are going to stay stuck is the one who says, I know it all, I know how it is, I don't need to change that new information that's not valid. Like adapting with change constantly, and has the initiation of the body connection. It's like the intuition body connection. That is what's going to lead you through any situation that you find yourself in. The body will know, the mind will not know. So if we're living from the mind, then we're going to just see chaos. We're going to be very worried and fearful, because the mind is only looking for proof, and proof in the physical is going to be saying that there's only chaos, but that's not how it is. There's always the duality, there's always the backside, but it depends on where do you see your reality, where do you look. So yeah, okay, I think I'm done for today. So that's it. Let me know about the fire in the let me know how this resonates. What brings this up? What happens inside? And that's going to be a very good initiator to what you need to work on, or what you need to shed during this time until the horse is arriving. So remember, we're still in snake year, we're still shedding. So take the opportunity. I know I am, and I'll see you tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye.